If you're thinking about making a move to the Twin Cities of Minnesota, there are 3 things you should research before moving here. Because whether you're looking for a rental or you're looking to buy a home, these 3 things will definitely influence your decision regarding where you want to live. Number 1 is crime. So whether you're talking to an agent that works in property management or you're talking to an agent that works in residential real estate, both are restricted on what they can tell you about the safety of a neighborhood. An agent can't tell you what a good neighborhood is because that could be considered steering based on a protected class, and that is a fair housing violation and a big no-no in real estate, so it's best to do your research beforehand. I've had a couple of people reach out to me and ask me where the safest neighborhoods are, and I just have to refer them to different resources, and I will link those in the description box, but I'll tell you about one. One is called Crime Mapping, and this you can type in the location and it will show you where the crime happened and what kind of crime it was, whether it was assault or a burglary or a drug-related crime. But another thing that you can do is call the local police department and ask them for crime data. Normally, they're more than happy to talk to you about the location, and they will usually give that information to you. Another thing you can do, and this does require making a visit, but I don't know about you, I always want to visit somewhere before I move there. But a good thing to do is to come and visit, rent a car, and drive or walk around the neighborhoods that you're interested in to get a feel for them, and also make sure that you do it at different times of the day. So go in the morning, go in the middle of the day, and then most importantly, go at night, because that's where most of the shenanigans are going on anyway. But this will give you a good idea of kind of what you feel when you're in the neighborhood. And also often, you'll see in the warmer months, you'll see neighbors that are doing yard work outside, and you can go ahead and ask them, hey, what's this area like? What can you tell me about it? And they are usually open books. They'll tell you, especially if they're a nosy neighbor, they want to tell you everything. So really good way to figure out what's going on in that neighborhood. Also, if you rent a car, you can kind of see what your commute's going to be like, what the traffic is like from different neighborhoods. Maybe that's going to have an influence on where you want to live as well. So it'll give you a good opportunity for that. But one more thing I can recommend is to look at Reddit. Now, I would be careful looking at Reddit because there are going to be several posts on probably each neighborhood, and some are going to say that this is super dangerous, and then others are going to say, I've lived here for 10 years and it's been amazing. So take it with a grain of salt, but look at multiple posts on Reddit, because often the people that are posting on there when they're answering questions are people who have lived there, or currently lived there. So they're going to have the best idea of what it is like, what the crime is like in those areas. Number 2 is schools. So a real estate professional also can't tell you what the best school districts are, or at least they're not supposed to. And this is also subjective. Are you looking for the best athletics? Are you looking for the best college prep? Are you looking for the highest test scores? Are you looking for more diversity? What you consider a good school is completely different than what somebody else thinks is a good school. But greatschools.org and niche.com are really great resources if you want to research schools, because it does list the criteria and how they grade them. And the nice thing is that you can search by the city or the neighborhood, and greatschools.org allows you to search by a specific address, so I find that very convenient. But something I do want to bring up is that if you are thinking about buying a home, is that the homes in the neighborhoods with the top rated school districts are going to be a bit more expensive. Now, this can be a plus if you don't have or you don't want kids, or your kids are out of school, because then you may be able to find cheaper housing outside of those districts. But the one downside to that, potential downside, is that the home value may not increase as rapidly as it does in the neighborhoods within those top-rated school districts. The third thing you're going to want to research is, what does the area have to offer in terms of entertainment and outdoor recreation and convenience? Do you want to live in an area that has a lot of bars and breweries and music venues and a lot of nightlife? Do you want to live in an area that it's really bikeable, so that if you decide that you want to get rid of the car, that you can commute to work by bike and get to different places by bike? Is it important to you to live maybe next to one of the lakes so that you can take out the paddleboard or the kayak or the canoe? Is it more important to you to live next to a lot of big box stores so that everything is really convenient? These are really important things to think about before you move somewhere. Of course, this can be done with a simple Google search, but it's best to get the information from somebody who lives here. And I have tons of videos, tours of different neighborhoods and suburbs throughout the Twin Cities, or I'd be happy to share the Google Maps I created of those places as well. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and ask me anything you want. As long as it's not about safety or schools, I'd be more than happy to help. I don't expect anything from you for providing information. I just want to make sure that if you move here, that you live in a place that makes you happy.